I'm not a big fan of rings, maybe even jewelry in general. I wear an Apple Watch when I ride my bike. Furthermore, I don't even wear my wedding ring. My wife is okay with it as far as I know. So when I got sent this ring with a whole heap of tech inside, I was a bit like, oh well, right, that's going to take a little bit of getting used to, but used to it I got. Then I thought, oh great, what is this ring going to tell me about my body? A, that I don't know already, and B, what my Apple Watch can't tell me. But I was pleasantly surprised. What made it even more interesting is the ring arrived just as I was nurturing a newborn on parental leave for the last 4 weeks, and it certainly told me about my lack of sleep. Sleep tracking, that's the cool part, but I was still skeptical about its utility. I could already tell I didn't get any sleep last night. I mean, I was awake with the baby the whole night, so what could the ring actually do for me? Why should you buy it, or I buy it? What makes the Ultrahuman Ring Air unique compared to the handful of other wearable smart ring brands? And then let's answer the question of utility and benefit of such a ring. Big thanks to Ultrahuman for sending the ring for review. Of course, make sure to tap the like button if you like this video and subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and of course to support us. Let's get started by rolling, I'm not going to roll the ring, but rolling the intro. I want to start with the ring part of the smart ring, because if the thing you have to wear all day and all night is not comfortable or convenient, you'll not want to wear it and ultimately fail at its promise, which, according to Ultrahuman, is to accurately measure your sleep, HRV, movement and temperature with insights to help you improve your health every day. So the ring comes in the following colors, or rather design types: raw titanium, this one here, Aster Black, matte gray, bionic gold, space silver. And look, I chose the titanium because, and I'm going to be very honest here, because Apple made a titanium phone, and that word just was in my mind. And I like the way it looks, but I have no way to know if this is real titanium. According to Ultrahuman, the outer shell is made of fighter jet grade titanium, reinforced with tungsten carbide carbon coating, which you may find on a cutting blade from Bunnings, for example. This in hope of making it resistant to everyday wear and tear. The inner ring is coated with a medical grade hyperallergenic epoxy resin, making it comfortable to wear at all times. And I can attest to that. I've had no issues in wearing this all day, all night. It really looks nice, and I'm gonna have to trust Ultrahuman that this is real titanium. Size-wise, before the real ring arrives, you get sent this little pack of goodies. Now, it comes in multiple sizes. It is high quality plastic, so it helps you feel what this ring will actually feel like on your hand. But you have to check which size fits you best, and the samples really do help, especially when you're spending almost 500 Australian dollars on a smart ring. The process is very simple, even though it's a little bit time consuming, because obviously you have to get this delivered, then you gotta let them know, and then the delivery process of your real ring comes along in a couple of weeks. Now, Ultrahuman recommends you put the ring on your index finger. Well, other fingers will work. Depending on which size you order, it won't work for all fingers. My left index finger has found the ring very comfortable. It has not got in the way of anything day to day, but I am right-handed. However, if you are a gym enthusiast, lifting some dumbbells with the ring may be uncomfortable. It may end up pinching your skin. For me, I rode my road bike, and due to the way I hold the handlebars, it was fine. But I can imagine it would cause some discomfort for some, and this is mainly due to its thickness. With all the tech inside, it kind of stands out. But we'll talk about the tech in a moment. Now, the weight is pretty much nothing. Depending on the size, it will range from 2.4 to 3.6 grams. You cannot feel this ring at all. It is so comfortable, I actually forget I am wearing it, and that's really what needs to happen when you have a ring that you wear for a long time. It never gets sweaty or smelly. Whatever material Ultrahuman used here is amazing. It doesn't rub nor damage my skin, and its perfect size also helps a lot. So make sure to use the plastic to choose. So all the while wearing the ring, I washed my hands with multiple types of soap, showered, worked in the garden digging holes, ran a cable through the roof crawl space, changed nappies, used power tools, slept, cleaned dishes, used hand sanitizer, rode my bike. What I'm trying to say here is I did everything and anything, and I had no care about the Ring at all. I thought if it cannot keep up with my menial day-to-day life, then how can it be useful to anyone more active? I really put the Ring through the ringer. Points to Ultrahuman. The Ring Air is resistant to everyday wear and tear. Now, I did, however, lose the Ring once, and I tried using the built-in Find My functionality, but not that great. It doesn't really find it all the time until you're really close to it, and then you've found it already. So with the physical part out of the way, let's talk tech and software. So for connectivity, it utilizes Bluetooth Low Energy, meaning there are negligible amounts of EMF radiation from the Ring. More on that in a second. For body sensors, it uses an infrared photoplethysmography sensor, I'm not going to say that again, and a non-contact medical grade skin temperature sensor, 6-axis motion sensors, red LEDs, green LEDs, and of course infrared LEDs for heart rate monitoring, oxygen saturation, and a whole bunch more. Now, you can see these LEDs light up at night if you ever look at your hand, but not enough to wake you. Lastly, the Ring has a rechargeable but not replaceable 24 milliamp LiPo battery that can last up to 6 days on a full charge. And I can certainly say it lasts very much close to 6 days. And utilizing the included charger stand, it'll charge from 0 to 100% in roughly 3 hours. And honestly, if you take it off, you might as well put it on the charger anyway. Now, to manage battery, the Ring only syncs with your mobile when you turn on the app. It is not a live connection until you do so, hence the limited EMF. So let's talk about software, or rather, the app. This is the part where Ultrahuman takes all the data from the sensors and translates it into something useful to you. Notifications. Not everyone likes them, I get that, but Ultrahuman's notifications have suggestions that are timely and sometimes even helpful. Like, don't get any stimulants, just as I was preparing my lips with a nice freshly brewed coffee at 5 p.m. and the app's like, no, don't do it. The stimulant window is a great example of useful notifications, but there are others, like make sure to get your steps in before the day ends. Well, my dear Ring, I'll get to those steps when I gory damn please. Don't tell me what to do, I'm the boss. So let's look at Thursday, the 23rd of May. On the first info card, I have 100 points in movement. The points are added to the 100 if you hit your exercise goals, but they get deducted from the 100 if you do not, and every morning the number resets to 100. Now, the bar chart gives you a wider view of the numbers. So the green highlights signifies that I have done well so far due to the nearly 12,000 steps from that day. Now, as a step counter, this Ring is fantastic. Then tapping into the movement page provides you with some extra information. Ultimately, this number is your single metric that tells you how active you have been throughout the day. Now, moving on, the next one, and this is my favorite because I like to talk about it a lot, how stressed I am. The stress rhythm, and in this case, the higher the score, the better you are at handling stress. It shows you a timeline of the day of when you are better at handling life. Now, the question you might be asking, how does this help me manage stress? Well, if you trust the science behind Ultrahuman's Ring, then you can see which parts of the day you're more likely to do well in managing stressful situations. So book those team meetings during those peaks and make big life decisions during that time. I don't know. Now, if you look at my own life, the large red area indicates the morning routine with my kids. During lunch, there's usually a rest, and then the afternoon gets quite busy preparing for my son to return from daycare. Then dinner, playtime, bath time, story time, bedtime. Then the Ring has certainly picked up on all those times when I have to be switched on, which is cool, but I cannot think of anything particular to do here based on this information. What I can deduce is that there's certain parts of the day that cause me to be more alert. Now, sleep analysis and tracking. Now, this is the part I think most people will be buying the Ring for, and one I could assume that before buying this, you're already suspecting of having bad sleep issues. So looking at my sleep page, this is what having a 2-week-old newborn and a toddler looks like. Again, we have a single metric to judge your sleep on, and inside the panel you'll find more details. And as you can see, my total sleep for this day is 3 hours and 35 minutes. So looking a bit deeper, let's tap into the first red line, sleep efficiency. It apparently needs attention in some way, shape or form. Now, this will reveal historical data on my sleep efficiency with some suggestions on how to get more, such as a sleep ritual, warm shower, magnesium supplements, calming music, and so on. Great suggestions for people who maybe didn't Google how to have a better sleep and may not have thought of these things. So being prompted based on your own data from the night before is actually a great motivator. Now, I won't go through every part of this, but each has a suggestion on how to improve that metric. Total sleep, for example, suggests avoiding caffeine, moving your sleep schedule earlier, creating a sleep conductive environment. What Ultrahuman doesn't suggest is don't have kids, specifically newborns. But neither here nor there, we all have our issues. So, sleep stages. I found this one to be very valuable actually. It can show you how long you spend in each sleep stage, which would be awake, REM sleep, light sleep, and deep sleep. And as many of you know, REM and deep sleep are restorative stages and our bodies kind of need it to function. So it's a really cool way to know what night you got more sleep, and then you can judge, I guess, how your day went. So you can examine your sleep patterns and then think about what happened, what could have caused the bad sleep, and then avoid it in the future. Let's say you had that red wine, a whole bottle, maybe two. Yeah, you're gonna have bad sleep. This is ultimately the core function of such a ring. Next, I like to look at the heart rate. A nice low heart rate during sleep is a good sign, and temperature is also interesting, looking at how balanced it is, and if it's not, it could be indicating an issue with your body. Either you're too cold or too hot, or the temperature drops like it does in the morning when you get out of bed, for example. But for women, this can be really useful to track cycles and much more, which I am not actually versed in, so I might have to leave it to a female reviewer. Overall, the Ultrahuman ring makes measurement and tracking of all kinds of body health information very easy, but a particular data point called heart rate variability, HRV, has been touted as a possible marker of resilience and behavioral flexibility. You see, HRV is simply a measure of the variation of time between each heartbeat. Now, this variation is controlled by a primitive part of the nervous system called the autonomic nervous system. It works behind the scenes to automatically regulate our heart rate, blood pressure, breathing, and digestion. Now, the ANS is subdivided into two large components, which is known as the flight or fight mechanism. You see, the brain is consistently processing information in a region called the hypothalamus, and the ANS provides signals to the hypothalamus, which then instructs the rest of the body to either stimulate or to relax different functions. And it responds not only to a poor night's sleep, like in my situation, but to sour interactions with your boss. Also, the exciting news that you got engaged, or that a delicious healthy meal you just ate for lunch went down really well. However, if you have a persistent instigators such as poor sleep, stress, unhealthy diets, dysfunctional relationships, isolations, or solitude, a lack of exercise, the balance may be disrupted and your fight or flight response can shift into overdrive. So this suggests some interesting possibilities. People who have a high HRV may have a greater cardiovascular fitness and may be more resilient to stress. And HRV may also provide personal feedback about your lifestyle and help motivate those who are considering taking steps to a better, healthier lifestyle. This is where the Ultrahuman ring, I think, is really aiming to assist with. For those who love data and numbers, this could be a way to track how your nervous system is reacting to all the changes around you and the environment, but also to your emotions, thoughts, and feelings. And the Ultrahuman ring can be the thing that tracks it. So without getting too hooly here, there are questions about accuracy, obviously reliability, and overall usefulness of tracking HRV. While HRV has been linked to overall physical fitness, the correlation between changes in HRV and how your autonomic nervous system is functioning will require more research. So it's not like be and all number that you go, that's my number. So if I was to point out the core beneficial data that can help your day-to-day, it is the following. Sleep tracking, validating you had a bad sleep and narrowing down how to avoid it in the future, and being able to visualize the data changes as you try new sleep routines or cut out certain foods and so on. Movement tracking. At a quick glance, you can see if you've done enough exercise for the day. Not a specific type of exercise, but more of a making sure you get out each day and be active. Obviously, being active is better for your overall health. And lastly, HRV tracking. This is your in-game health bar, but in real life. It really makes me put on my game face and try to get these numbers up. I think part of the Ultrahuman design here is gamification to enable you to track and affect those numbers with your own actions. And I don't think the ring is a cure. It's more of a stick in a place at a certain time, giving you a way to measure what you do with this information. Well, that's really up to you. Now, I can recommend this ring as a sleep, heart, and step tracker. However, what I cannot recommend is the price tag at 480 Australian dollars. This is an expensive tracker. At this price, the buyer is someone who's fanatical about their health, already tracking their carb intake, has an app connected to weight scales, already has a smartwatch, and is looking for more, maybe even training for a big event. For that person, the price isn't an issue. They want a ring that's high quality, comfortable, and accurate with its sensor data. But as a bonus, there's no ongoing subscription. So that person, I think, the Ultrahuman ring is actually gonna fit the bill. So big thanks to Ultrahuman for sending the ring for review. If you'd like to purchase the ring, then make sure to use my affiliate code. If not, no worries. Thanks for watching. As always, this video helped you decide if this was product for you, then make sure to give us a like. If you would like to see more content like this, then tap the subscribe button. It helps to support this channel. Thanks and bye.